Good morning, student. Today we start our chapter number 15, our environment. So first, our environment means thing around us forms environment. We have oftenly listen about the news in newspaper or in television about the environmental problem. So in that chapter we will discuss about the environmental problems and various part of the environment which play an important role in our life. So the first point is 15.1. What happen when we add our waste to the environment? So from the heading it is clear that what happened to environment when we add our waste to the environment. So the answer is that when we add waste to the environment get polluted. So now we have produced two type of waste. One is biodegradable, another is non-biodegradable. So the biodegradable waste are those waste which decompose with passage of time by the action of enzymes or bacteria in the environment, and the non-biodegradable waste is that waste which does not decompose with passage of time, or it will remain in the environment for the long time, means it does not decompose. So the in that paragraph we will discuss about the waste is of two type, biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Next question are there. So the first question NCERT in text: why are the some substance biodegradable and the some substance are non-biodegradable? Because the substance which decompose with the passage of time by the action of bacteria or microorganisms or enzymes is called biodegradable, and the substance which does not decompose with the passage of time is called non-biodegradable. Like plastic, the example of non-biodegradable polybags, and the biodegradable like animal waste, plant waste, other things also. Now, next question. Give any two ways in which biodegradable substance would affect the environment. So, we all think that the biodegradable substance does not affect the environment. Actually, the waste, any waste which may be the biodegradable or which may be the non-biodegradable, affect the environment. So, how the biodegradable waste affect the environment? So, when the biodegradable waste decompose, so it release foul smells. So, due to that foul smells, the air quality of that area reduces, and also that biodegradable waste provide the breeding ground for the mosquito and the housefly, which can cause many disease. So these are the biodegradable waste affect the environment. Next, give any two ways in which the non-biodegradable substance would affect the environment. Simply, the non-biodegradable waste, when they are burned, they release harmful gases which cause air pollution, or when they are thrown in the water bodies, so they are remain in the water body for the long time. Due to that, the availability of the oxygen for the aquatic life decreases, and due to that, the aquatic life have faced problem during their survival period. Also, when they are buried under the surface, so they cause the soil pollution. Means the non-biodegradable substance cause air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. Non-biodegradable waste. Next, ecosystem. What are its components? So, what is ecosystem? So, ecosystem is the interaction of all the living and non-living things in an area of an environment is called ecosystem. What is the living and non-living things? Means interaction between the plant, animals, microorganisms, human beings, air, water. A particular area forms the ecosystem. So what is ecosystem? Interaction of all the living and non-living thing of an area forms an ecosystem of that area. So what are its components? The ecosystem have two components. One is biotic component, another is abiotic components. What are biotic components? Biotic means living things and abiotic means non-living. So the human being, plant, animals, all insects, organisms, that are the biotic component. The rain, wind, soil, temperature, all these are the abiotic components. So now we oftenly visit to the garden near our houses. So what we have seen there? We have seen there are the insect also, there are the plant also, human being also there, and many microorganisms are there. So that will form an ecosystem. So the garden is a artificial ecosystem which created by the human being, like the river, ponds. These all are the natural ecosystem, means which are naturally in the environment. Now next, we also group together the animal in the various categories. So we in previous class we have discussed that key organisms are categorized into the many groups. The first group is producer, then consumer, then decomposers. So first of all, what are the producer? Producer are the green plants or blue-green algae, which prepare their own food with the help of sunlight. They contain chlorophyll. So producer, all plants, and the blue-green algae undergo the producer. What are consumer? Consumers are those which directly or indirectly depend on the producer. So these are the consumer. And the last one is that decomposer. What are decomposer? So when anything die in the environment, so it remain in the environment for the small interval of time. So at that time, the decomposer means the microorganisms which decompose the dead bodies in the environment are the decomposers. So the decomposer are play important role in the cleaning our environment. With the help of decomposer, only the dead remain of plant, animal, and insects or other things can be decomposed. Now next, the consumer also categorized in various categories. First is herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and parasites. So what are herbivores? Means which directly depend on the plants, and what are the carnivores? Which can depend for their food on the that herbivorous animals. And what are the omnivores? Which can be eat both plant as well as animals. Parasites are those which live on the host body for their nutrition, means they doesn't kill the host body. Next, now for example, if we take the example of aquarium, so if we doesn't clean an aquarium for the long time, then the fishes and the plant will die. So what happened to that fishes and that plant? So that fishes and that plant decompose with passage of time. This is only happen due to the decomposer or the microorganisms which decompose their body. So what are the decomposer? Decomposer are the organism which decompose the complex organic substance into simpler substance. Clear? So if decomposer is not in our environment, then the dead bodies of various plant and animal remain in the environment for long time, and due to that the situation, the environment will be very digestible. Now the next topic is food chain and food web. So what is food chain? The food chain is the interaction of various trophic level in the environment called food chain. Again I am repeating, what is food chain? Food chain is the interaction of various trophic level is called food chain. So now in figure number 15 there are given many food chains. So if we see the first food chain, there is the plant, then deer, then a lion. So the plant, deer and the lion, these are the trophic level. The plant are at the first trophic level, deer at the second, and tiger at the third. Similarly, there is the plant, that insect, frog, and snake, and the eagle. This is also a food chain. So these are the food chains. So food chain means that plant is one trophic level, insect is another trophic level, frog is another trophic level, snake is another trophic level, and eagle is another trophic level. The food chain is the interaction of various trophic levels. So now the producers, which are always present on the first trophic level, means they are prepare their own food with the help of sunlight. In the next trophic level, there are the herbivores, means those animals which only eat the plants. In the next, they are the carnivores and the top carnivores. Now next, so now the food chain also tell us about that the how energy flow in the various trophic level. First, energy is in here given a level diagram 15.2 of trophic levels. So here we will the producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer. What diagram this indicate? Ki first energy is energy taken by from the sun or prepared by the producer, then that energy flow to the primary consumer, then primary consumer to secondary consumer, and then secondary to tertiary. The food chain also tell about that ki how the energy flow in the environment. Next point, ki from that various component we have discussed, and we have reached various points. So what are these points? The first point is that the green plant in a terrestrial ecosystem capture about the 1% of energy of the sun that fall on their leaves and convert into food. Means plant only convert 1% of energy that they get from the sun. Now next, when any plant is eaten by the primary consumer, we can say the herbivores. So the 90% of the energy is utilized by that herbivores in the process of digestion or for doing work or for the growth and development and for the reproduction. So only the 10% energy is available for the next trophic level. So the average value of 10% energy transfer from one trophic level to next trophic level. We will discuss with an example. For example, key plant produce that 100 joule of energy. So that plant is eaten by the any herbivorous animal. So the 90 joule of energy is consumed or used by the by the herbivores for their growth and development, and the remaining only the 10% is available for the next trophic level. Clear? So this is known as a 10% energy law, means the energy flow from one trophic level to the next trophic level is only the 10%, means average value of the energy flow from one trophic level to the another trophic level is 10%. We will discuss in later about more. Since so little amount of energy is available for the next level, so that's why the food chain have only 3 to 4 levels. We have discussed previously that plant, then deer, then tiger. Similarly, we have discussed that that plant, then insect, frog, and that then snake and eagle. So means a food chain have only 3 to 4 tropical level. The reason behind that is the 10% energy low. If food chain is very big, in that case the top carnivorous animal get only very few amount of energy. Now one more point that the energy flow in an ecosystem is unidirectional, means energy is only from that producer to consumer. First producer, then first primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Never energy flow in backward direction. Energy flow in our nature is a unidirectional, and also the producer have greatest number as compared to other tropical level, means producer, the plant are present in large number as compared to animals. So producer have the greater number, that is written aside. There are the general greater number of individual at the lower tropical level, means at the lower tropical level the producer is at the greatest number as compared to other tropical level. So now here comes out to be another point, food web. What is food web? The food web is the interaction of various food chain. So in the food chain, the animal of one tropical level is depend only the one animal of another tropical level, but in food chain one animal can be dependent on more than one animal for their food requirement. So the what is food web? The food web is the interaction of various food chain. So there is a diagram. In diagram you will see in here. So there is a rat. Rat can eat two type of plants. Similarly, that rat can be eaten by other animal. It can also eaten by snake. It is also eaten by the owl. It is also eaten by the big cats. Similarly, means one organism can depend on many other organisms for their food. So in food chain, organism depend only one, but in food web, one animal can be eaten by many other animals. So what is food web? Food web is the interaction of various food chain. Now next another we have discussed about that there is a diagram 15.4 the first energy coming from sun that is taken by the producer, then producer to the herbivores, then herbivores to the carnivores, then carnivores to the top carnivores. So that means energy flow is only unidirectional, means energy only from sun to producer, producer to herbivores, herbivores to carnivores, and carnivores to the top carnivores. The another point we have discussed in that paragraph which is written here, with the energy transfer there are also many things are transferred from one tropic level to other tropic level. For example, if we discuss that when we add pesticides or insecticide in our soil or in our plant or in our field, so that are washed away and they may be observed by the soil, and from soil they reach to the plant, and from plant that are reach to the human being indirectly. So there comes out to another point, biological magnification. What is the meaning of biological magnification? In this paragraph at the end we will reach a point is known as biological magnification, which is written on the downside from the fourth line. What is biological magnification? The biological magnification means the movement of harmful chemical from one tropical level to the another tropical level is called biological magnification. For example, if we take the example we will add some pesticides in the field, and that is taken by the soil, and from soil due to the rain that insecticide or pesticide reach to the water body. In the water body, first is observed by the plants of the aquatic plants, and that aquatic plant are eaten by the aquatic organisms. So what happen here? First the chemical reach to the aquatic plant, from aquatic plant it is reached to the fishes, and then fishes eaten by the other animals, so that reach to the another animal. So as the body size increases, the concentration of that chemical increases. Means the topmost on the food chain get concentration of these chemical is the highest. So what is biological magnification? The movement of harmful chemical from one tropic level to the another tropic level is called biological magnification. So once we read it, one of the reason is use of the several pesticide and other chemical to protect our crop from the disease and pest. These chemical are either washed down into the soil or into the water bodies. From the soil, these are absorbed by the plant along with water and minerals, and from the water bodies, these are taken up by the aquatic plant and animals. So this is one of the way in which they enter in the food chain. Means the chemical which we are used to protect our crop from the disease or the pest that are entering our food chain. Then what happen? As these chemicals are non-biodegradable and they are accumulated progressively at each tropic level, means these are non-biodegradable and their concentration increases in each tropic level. As human being at the top of the food chain, every food chain is end at the human being, maximum food chain, because human being at the top in the food chain. So the concentration of these chemical is maximum in the human beings. The phenomena is known as biological magnification. And also that these chemical cannot be washed, cannot be removed by washing, because these are present in the interior of the organisms. So now next we will discuss the question answer, where what are the tropic levels, give example of food chain and state the different tropic level. So what is tropic level? Each step in food chain is called tropic level. Means food chain के हर एक step को हम tropic level कहते हैं. Give example. You can take example of any food chain. First we will take on the example of that. First is that grass. The grass, then insect. So grass is first tropic level. Then insect is second tropic level. Then third is frog, because insect is eaten by the frog, so frog is the third tropic level, and that frog is eaten by the snake, so snake is the fourth tropic level. What is the role of the decomposer in the ecosystem? We have discussed earlier how decomposer help to us. Decomposer decompose the dead remain of the plant and animal which is in the environment. They convert the complex substance into simpler substance, so they are the cleaner of the environment. If decomposer are not present in our environment, then we will see that the dead bodies of various organisms can remain in the environment and our environment get polluted. Next topic is how our activity affect the environment. So mainly our activity affect the environment, but basically in that chapter we have to discuss only two activity. First is ozone, depletion of ozone, or means impact of our activity on the ozone layer and the waste disposal. So first we will discuss that how ozone is formed. So ozone is formed, there given a diagram. From diagram it is clear that first is oxygen. So there is given a diagram, step 1 you have seen here. Step 1, there is a O2. On O2 when UV radiation falls, that O2 divide into O plus O. Then that O plus O combine with O2 again and will form O3. So what is oxygen? What is ozone? We have discussed in the earlier part. So ozone layer and how it get depleted. So first, what is ozone? Ozone is the 3 atom of the oxygen, while oxygen is the 2 atom of the oxygen. Oxygen is the essential part of the living beings, and on the other hand, ozone is a deadly poisonous gas. It present at the higher level in the environment, and that gas protect us from the harmful UV radiation coming from the sun. If that is not present at the higher level, then that UV radiation can cause many problems in the human being. Some of the problems: skin cancer, genetic disorders. Now ozone is higher level, how it will form? So here given again a diagram that O2 split into O plus O by the action of UV radiation, and then O again combined with O2 form the O3. So this, in that way, ozone form in the higher level, higher atmospheric in the higher height of the atmosphere. So now how it is affected? In the 80s there are CFCs, means the use of CFC increases in the greater concentration. Due to that, CFC means chlorofluorocarbons, that are oftenly used in the refrigerator and fire extinguisher and coolant, and also used in the refrigerators and used in the air conditioners. So that CFC, when reach to the higher atmosphere, they react with ozone and the concentration of ozone decreases. So what is CFC? How they affect the environment? How they affect the ozone? They are deplete the ozone layer due to CFCs. Now various government ban the use of CFCs. Now previously the CFC also used in the paint also. So now CFC damage our ozone layer. Next, manage the garbage we produce. So we oftenly seen when you visited to any city or any area, you have seen there is a big heaps of the garbages all around. So what is the reason behind that? Ki there are the big heaps of the garbage around us. This is the main reason is that the improvement in our lifestyle. Due to improvement of our lifestyle, the waste production is also increased. So how we have to change our how we have to change our habits to reduce the production of garbages. So for that, first we have to use the 3 R's. 3 R's means reduce, reuse and recycle. Reduce means we have to reduce our needs. Second is reuse. The things which can be reused again and again, we have to reuse them. And the last one is recycle, means the things which can be recyclable can be recycled. Also we have to separate the degradable, biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste in separate parts. Means biodegradable waste is separate place at the separate place, and non-biodegradable waste separate at the place at the separate place. Next, there is given a fact file in your book, disposable cup in train. So first, in the trains the plastic glasses are used, so there is a big problem of hygiene. Now these plastic glasses are replaced by the coolers means the clay cups. So due to use of that clay cups, that clay came from the nearby areas. Due to that, the topmost fertile layer of soil is depleted, and this is also this also impacts the environment. Now these clay cup taken by the place of these clay cup is taken by the disposable cup, means which are made of paper or cup. So now this is a point which we can see that how our approach toward the environment change the environmental problem. Now next we will discuss the NCERT and text question. Now next there is MCQ, which of the following group contain only biodegradable? So we will first, grass is a biodegradable, flower is also biodegradable, leather is also biodegradable. Next, grass is also biodegradable, wood is also biodegradable, but plastic is not biodegradable, that is non-biodegradable. Again, fruit peels are biodegradable, cake is a food which can be biodegradable, lime juice can also be biodegradable, cake, wood and grass. So means in that question, which is of the only biodegradable? So option may be there wrong. The right option is A is also correct, B is not correct, C and D are correct. Which of the following constituent of a food chain? So grass, wheat, mango, that grass, goat, human, goat, cow, elephant, grass, fish, goat. So what is food chain? Food chain interaction of various trophic level. Grass, wheat, mango. So these are not depend on each other. Then grass, goat, human. Yes, grass, goat, human. Goat depend on grass, and that goat can be eaten by the human beings. Goat, cow, elephant. Again, the cow is not eat goat, and elephant is also not eaten cow, because elephant is a herbivorous animal. Grass, fish, goat. Grass, fish, goat. So grass is not eaten by the fish, and fish is also not eaten by the goat. So this is the wrong answer. So the B is the correct. Which of the following are the environmental friendly practices? Carry cloth bags to put purchases while shopping. That is correct. That is eco-friendly activity. Switch off the necessary lights. That is also eco-friendly. Walk to the school instead of getting your mother to drop you on her scooter. That is also eco-friendly. So all these activities are the eco-friendly. Now the question number 4. What will be happen if we kill all the organism in one trophic level? So it is very easy answer. If we kill all the organism in a one trophic level, so it can be taken as, for example, if we kill the goat, or if we kill the deer, then what will happen to the environment? So it is clear that if we kill the deer, so the lion which depend on the deer for the food, they doesn't get sufficient amount of food, so number of lion decreases. And on the other hand, the grass is eaten by the deers. So if deer are not there, it means the grass height increases very long, and new growth of grass cannot be grown. Clear? Question number 5. What will the impact of removing all the organism in a tropic level be different for the different tropic level? Can the organism of any tropic level be removed without causing the damage to the ecosystem? So the answer is beta yes. The removing of different tropic level impact in different way. Previously we discussed that if we kill the deer, then what happen? If we kill the deer, then the number of tiger decreases. On the other hand, the height of grass is increases. If we remove the tiger, then what will happen? So if we remove the tiger, then due to removal of tiger, the number of deers increase in the forest area. If deer increases, they graze grass, so the grass is also decreases. And if grass is not there, so the grass is help to bind the soil together. So due to that, there is a soil erosion. It means if we remove any tropic level, the lower tropic level and higher tropic level both are affected by this. Means removing of different tropic level is different. Correct? Can we remove any tropic level without disturbing environment or damaging environment? No, we are not able to remove any organism. If one of the tropic level is removed, it definitely affects the environment, because the animal who depend on and on which it depend, both are affected in this process. What is biological magnification? Question number 6 we have discussed previously. What is biological magnification? The movement of harmful chemical from one tropic level to the another tropic level is called biological magnification. With the level of this magnification be different at the different tropic level? Yes. As the tropic level we move from first to second, second to third to fourth. So at the top tropic level, the concentration of these chemicals is highest. So for example, again I am discussing the first, the chemical reach to the water bodies. From the water bodies that are taken by the aquatic plant, then these aquatic plant are eaten by the fishes, and that fish may be eaten by the human beings. So in the human being, the concentration of these chemical is at highest level. So as we move in the tropic level, the concentration of that chemical increases, means that concentration vary with the body size of that organism. Next question, what are the problem caused by the non-biodegradable waste that we generate? So the non-biodegradable waste damage our environment in 3 ways or 4 ways. If we burn them, they cause air pollution. If we throw them in the water body, they cause the water pollution, and when they are dumped, they will cause the soil pollution or soil erosion. If all the waste we generate is biodegradable, will this have no impact on the environment? Previously I discussed that the waste that may be biodegradable or that may be non-biodegradable, it impact our environment. If the waste is biodegradable, it takes some time to decompose. During their decomposition process, that waste or when the microorganism act on that waste, at that time it releases foul smells. Due to that foul smells, the air quality of that area decreases. Also that during that process, it provides the breeding ground for the mosquito and the housefly, which may be cause many disease to our society. Next question is that why is the damage to the ozone layer is cause of concern? What steps are being taken to limit this stage? Again, the ozone play an important role. It protects us from the harmful UV radiations. So that's why the cause of damage of the ozone layer is cause of concern, because if ozone layer is not there, then we are not able to survive, because that layer protect us from harmful UV radiations. What steps are taken by the there should be limited use of CFCs, or excessive use of CFCs should be prohibited, and the use of government should be make rules and regulation to use these chemicals, because these chemicals can damage our ozone. So this is over for today. So this is your chapter R environment. So read that chapter from one time from book and listen carefully, and also read it, understand it, and make summary of that chapter. Thank you.